Oh, okay.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Fire and Ice Experience, the season finale, Week 18 football talk. We are in the end of times for the NFL football season. The regular season has come to an end. There are still spots left up for playoffs. Teams still jockeying for positions. This thing is not over. It's your boy, Coach, flanked by the world's greatest. Fresh Fire, how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well, man. I'm glad we starting to get to the point of the season where we have separated most of the men from most of the boys, but there are a lot of games that still have playoff implications. There will be some lefts where you
Absolutely.
think things will go right, and I'm kind of excited to see how this last week is going to play out in the NFL. So let's go.
Absolutely, man. We had some very exciting games yesterday. Some inclement weather. I mean, it was what you want in NFL football coming down the wire. Like we had some rain, we had some muddy. It was mucky. It was a true late season winter game. You know, give me your thoughts on that game.
What I will say is, man, what you always like to ask is what I've learned. And what I learned yesterday when you referred to the inclement weather and the mucky weather, I referred to what I learned about the Pittsburgh Steelers and Mike Tomlin and just their brand of football. Um, I don't think anybody really can harken back and really go back to when you were young and you played football and you just lined up man versus man. You blocked this man and you tackled this man, and that play stood for what that play stood. And if you had more plays that added up to wins than losses, then you win the game usually in the end. And Pittsburgh, to me, right, especially right now
Right.
in the Mike Tomlin era, recent history, they have been winning football games at just lining up and winning plays on that particular play. And it may be one more particular play that they've made. So they're out there playing the
That's all it
closest
takes.
thing.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
You they're out there playing the closest thing to just football. The rarest essence of its form. Just okay. I don't care about your air raid passing game. I don't care about your fancy zone running scheme. Line up, play the damn game. Whatever the clock says, when it ends, is what it is. And
Right.
more times than most, you don't pick Pittsburgh to win, but damn it if they ain't won.
They they
Salute
seem
them.
they seem to be there. They seem to be there. And that's the essence of what we coming down to, man. You got, of course, in these circles, man, no Mike Tomlin slander allowed. Mike Tomlin did another Mike Tomlin into Baltimore, regardless of the circumstances. I don't care if you starting the popcorn man. I don't care if you've already clinched. We got business to take care of, and we standing on that, and we coming in here and we taking what's ours. Now, how it shakes out for him, who knows? But salute to Mike Tomlin, man, for going in, doing what y'all do, man, doing your job, and coming in there and getting a victory. Now they have some, there are playoff implications still up in the air a little bit today, if I'm not mistaken, right? They
Yeah.
need a little bit of help. But with that being said, considering what he's been dealt and the things that he's gone through to finish the season without a losing record,
Yes. Yes.
it's Mike Tomlin.
Again,
That is the Mike Tomlin excellence. That is the Mike Tomlin excellence. And another game, the other game yesterday, we had young CJ Stroud lead his Houston Texans into Indianapolis to defeat the Colts 23-19. Spirited performance, man, by D'Amico Ryan, CJ Stroud, and the rest of the Texans. A whole different culture there. I'm in love with it because I'm hopeful for the same thing for my guys, and they showed that it can be done in 1 year. Now, a lot of people would like to say that that's an outlier. I don't think so. I think that it's been happening more often than not in recent history. So I think that is the reason that a lot of these owners and teams are they're jumpy because they've seen it done, so they want it done for themselves. Thoughts on it?
Well, just like me, I want to shout out to good brother Molly Bruce, man. CJ Stroud is the real deal. There's a play out there that really sums up the significant difference between an okay quarterback and a quarterback that you can really, really depend on to lead your team to some significant success. And there was a play later in the game where he ducked and dived and held the play excuse me, excuse me, and held the play up long enough for him to loft a ball out into man-on-man coverage for the first down. And I was like, wow, that's a special play right there from a player that came from a school that I bang on heavy for their quarterback play. But I swear to you, I swear to you, I swear to you, to anybody that's willing to listen, CJ Stroud is significantly different than any quarterback that I've ever seen come from Ohio State. And if you can pick, and if you can identify a quarterback good enough, because I think we all thought that Bryce Young was good enough, but I don't think anybody, well, not anybody, I don't think the majority of people identified that CJ Stroud, which I know I was in that boat, that I did not identify CJ Stroud as that guy just because the lineage of an Ohio State quarterback playing professionally in the NFL. I was like, that's not that good. You're going to have to show me. Well, guess what, folks
Absolutely.
out there in Fire Nights Experience pregame football land? That young man has showed me. And the Houston Texans, shout out to D'Amico Ryans, all of them have showed you that if you pick right, roster construction, you pick right. It doesn't always have to be the quarterback, but that damn sure helps. It damn sure helps. But if you pick right, you can turn this thing around fast. And you too, Coach P, can have hope that your Washington Commanders can turn this thing around just as fast.
You too can have this kind of success. My son is
You
just.
just got to pick right, though. You got to pick right.
He said I'm streaming. He said I'm streaming on a fossil. Shout out Primo, man. He laughing at me. You got to see the shit that this kid has set up down here, man. It's insane. His fucking modem is like glow in the dark, clear, see through. It's ridiculous down here, man. He got some real deal hydroponic stuff down here, man. But with that being said, man, let's move on to week 18, man. Let's go down the schedule. Let's get it done. First matchup, we got. This is what I'm gonna do. I want to do something different today. I want to do something different today because
let's go, Coach.
I think week 18 is different. Okay, so I just want to ask you, do we want to do the normal or do we want to go teams that matter or do we want to do our normal thing? Because we're down at week 18, we're moving into the playoffs. We want to go to the games that matter that have any implications whatsoever, or are we want to go through our normal progression? Let's go through our normal progression. Let's do that. Let's go through our normal progression. Okay. All right. So with that being said, we got the Cleveland Browns traveling in Cincinnati. The line is 36.5. We got the Bengals a -7.5. Once again, the Browns traveling in Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Give me your thoughts, bro.
This is a game right here that a lot of people thought before Joey B's injury it was going to be a lot more significant than it really is.
We're gonna spend some more time on the ones that matter. These type of games we'll speed through them with no playoff implications whatsoever. We'll get through them and we'll get to the ones that matter.
Yeah, Cleveland is already in. I'm not sure who's playing, who's not playing. This is a game right here where a lot of people were playing for pride and bonuses. You know what I'm saying? If
Pride and
you got
bonuses.
some pride, pride for your job next year, and bonuses if you're that close. Like, man, I need a couple carries, I need a couple receiving yards, I need a couple touchdowns, I need a couple sacks. This is what you plan for
Right.
today. If you're Cleveland, your number one issue is not to get hurt. Um, I think it's a shake them up, shake them back because I think they're locked into their position. I don't think they can win their division. I think their seeding is pretty locked in, so I think they're just willing to
Yeah,
go
Cleveland can't win
into
a division, but
wherever.
they're in.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs, but they can't win a division. I think that they're just willing. A win for them would just be get out everybody healthy, Some guys get some bonuses.
That's a
Let's
win.
get out of here. Let's get out of here. With that being
So
said, I think.
as far as the AFC, as far as who's in right now, there is only literally two teams in right now. You got the Baltimore Ravens, Miami Dolphins,
Mhm.
and you got the Houston Texans, and you got three teams in, and the Browns. I'm sorry, four
The
teams. You got the
Browns, yeah.
Browns
So
in.
that's four.
Yeah, the Browns are in. In the hunt, we got so far Buffalo. Now, where as far as where they lie, that could change. Kansas City has a remaining game against the Chiefs. Their particular seeding can change, as can the
Hmm.
Buffalo Bills. Their seeding can change because they have a pivotal game for the division, might I add. Still in the hunt, Jacksonville, only because they have division implications on the line. Or no, I think that sealed it last night, didn't it?
Well, Jacksonville's in the play. Jacksonville, if they win today, they win the division. Uh, if some things go some different ways, they may even be out of the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Okay,
Uh,
cool. So give
and,
me a
and,
score.
and
What's the score of this game? Who you got in that game?
man, this is going to be a tough game. I'm not sure if Jacksonville has made it all the way to where we think they should be right now because this is a game that we should
Mhm.
clearly think that they should just win.
Well, back
Tennessee
up.
is
Well, who you got in the
Tennessee.
Cleveland game? Who you got in the
Oh,
Cleveland game?
okay. In the
Cleveland.
Cleveland game, man, give me
Let's
Cincinnati.
let's
Actually, give me Cincinnati in that game. It's at home. Give me Cincinnati. I think Jake Browning will come out. He's playing for pride. He's playing to put some things on tape. He's going to be throwing the ball around like he's trying to go to the playoffs because he hasn't solidified much of anything. And I think like the Browns, I think a win for them is everybody just get out of here healthy and we go rest up and worry about who we play Monday morning. Yo, good brother. You got some okay. Well, I guess how I'm feeling about the Tennessee Titans and the shit. Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I guess how I'm feeling about that is I think a lot of us have placed a lot of success at the feet of Trevor Lawrence that he may not have earned yet. Now, I think he's good. I have not think that he has brought his team to the heights that they should be at, but I think his team is pretty much where they should be at. I think his team is where his team is at because of the team around him. And I think Travis Etienne gets a little more underrated where Trevor Lawrence gets a little more overrated. Today's a huge game for the Jacksonville Jaguars because I'm not sure they're in the playoffs yet, but if they win a division. I think they're in one of those funny kind of situations where you can either be in and have a home game or you can be all the way out of the playoffs like the Buffalo Bills. That's a funny way to see your season going today. So today, I'm actually going to pick the Jacksonville Jaguars to pull out a tough one, a really tough one, a little closer than this should be, and a little tougher than it should be. But I don't think the Tennessee Titans, a Mike Vrabel led Tennessee Titan team with Derrick Henry and the young Will Levis at quarterback, who has something to prove, just like a lot of these young backup and third string quarterbacks have a lot to prove. So there's going to be some things going on today that you're going to say, wow, man, Jacksonville, it shouldn't have been that close. But these football games, man, people are out here playing for their livelihoods. They're playing for jobs. They're playing to put good film out in the league on themselves. They're playing for pride. So it's not going to be easy for Jacksonville, but I do pick Jacksonville winning today. In a close one, but I do pick them winning today, man. I'm not sure what happened to the coach, man. I'm not sure what happened to coach, man. Let's get the coach back in here, man. But yo, man, y'all let me know. Y'all let me know for right now who y'all think, who y'all think is going to be playing hard today and who isn't going to be playing hard today. Because I don't think the Cleveland Browns, I think they're going to be, the guys who are going to be playing for as long as they play are going to be playing hard. But I'm not thinking they're going to be playing hard or playing to win. Now, Jacksonville, on the other hand, you haven't done anything. You haven't clinched anything. You haven't proven anything to anybody. We're going to need you to show up and show out. If not, you will be talked about heavily as well. And I'm not sure it will be the coach that would be talked about in a bad type of way. A lot of this would be at the feet of Trevor Lawrence, from my perspective. You know, Coach Dougie P's out there doing the best he can from what I see. A lot of this would be laid at the feet of Trevor Lawrence. And as we pivot and transfer, I would like to get into the game, a really, really significant game to all playoff hopes, dreams, whatever in the AFC. You got the Buffalo Bills traveling to Miami, man. Please, man, chime in on what y'all feeling or what y'all thinking about this game. Because like I was talking about Jacksonville and them either, winning the division or maybe not even being in the playoffs. The streaky and headed on that high roller coaster right now, Buffalo Bills, man, are playing some of the scariest ball you want to face right now going into the playoffs. But the funny thing about the Buffalo Bills is they haven't clinched anything yet. They have clinched nothing today. So they have to win today. They have to win today to be in the playoffs. It just so happens if they win today, they also win the AFC East. And they will get a home football game in the playoffs next week. So the Buffalo Bills, man, this is your season. There will be a lot of things on the line today. I think there will be a lot of jobs on the line today. I think there will be a lot of roster spots on the line today for the Buffalo Bills. I think going forward, a lot of players will be looked at differently, just as some coaches are, who will come out of this Buffalo Bills thing if they lose today. Man, this is going to be tough, man. This is tough. They are going down into Miami, where usually the heat and all those type of things, those are advantages for Miami. But I would actually say this time of the year, you would probably want to go and be somewhere warm. It ain't 1,000 degrees. From what I'm hearing, it may be a seasonable 70 degrees. I might not be mad at playing the football game in that type of weather in this time of this season. At least we're not playing in Buffalo, where it seemed like they just had a snowstorm up there, which would slow a lot of things down. Not just the Miami Dolphins, but it would slow your Buffalo Bills down as well. So, man, the implications of this game are huge. They are major. I myself have picked the Miami Dolphins to win the AFC East. And I have also picked them to be my Super Bowl representative for the AFC as a conference. This here is a very, very, very tough pick for me to make, because if the Miami Dolphins don't win, they don't win the AFC East. and their playoff hopes look a little or a lot dimmer. So it's just weird. It's weird for me to see or try to even think I may have to pick against my AFC East division winning AFC conference represent Super Bowl representing team today. For them to just actually get in to have a chance to get to my Super Bowl pick for them. It's so crazy to see that. But today is a game that has implications of massive proportions. I'm not sure exactly where I'm going with this right now, folks. I know I picked the Miami Dolphins to win the AFC East. I know I picked them to be my AFC conference Super Bowl representatives. I know I did all that, but I'm not sure I can pick against these guys today. Buffalo has their backs against the wall and a very, very dangerous man at the helm named Joshua Allen. Now, I've seen this man throw some balls away that has made me pull a little bit of hair out of my head that I have left. Now, I've also seen this man stiff arm linebackers to the ground. So he is a guy that can throw on the cape when needed. Matter of fact, he's been a guy who's thrown on the cape when it hasn't been needed. And that's something that the Bills have noticed in their recent successes. They've actually seen that a little less Josh Allen wearing the cape and a little bit more James Cook running the ball is a lot more beneficial to the success of our football team. Now, we all know that Josh Allen can throw the cape on. We all know that Josh Allen can pull and drag and just run over people and carry his team to a victory. But it seems like more times than most, he's a player that can also lead his team single-handedly to destruction. So when we think about Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills right now and how they're playing, shout out to Beef Stew and Neighbor Nabe on the check-ins. But how Josh Allen is playing right now, he's playing a more tempered football game. He's playing a more down-to-earth, as I say, or dare I say, game managing style of football. And it has led to a lot more success for the Buffalo Bills in recent history. And that can be paired with break glass if needed in an emergency. I can throw on the cape Josh Allen. That is a very, very difficult pick for me to make against that right now and the way they're playing football. Coach, can you tell me how you're feeling about Buffalo traveling to Miami and having their backs against the walls? If they don't win, they don't get in. But if they win the whole AFC Eastern Division. If they beat the Miami Dolphins today.
First, I want to apologize. What the hell happened, man? I had a whole system outage, man. That was weird. But listen, that was weird. But we move on. I digress. We move on. We surge forward. As far as Miami and Buffalo was the team that put the kibosh on Miami earlier this season. So they have the blueprint. They were one of the earlier teams that put the blueprint out there. Can they do it again? I think it's possible, especially when you have added incentive of playing for your life and playing for the division. That's even more of you salvage the season if you go into Miami and you get this W. Now, with that being said, can they do it? Few factors here. We haven't had very many Superman performances from Josh Allen this year. Miami is very banged up. They've lost Bradley Chubb, which is big. Huge. Huge. I got to go with Buffalo in this one. Give me Buffalo in this one. Yeah. I got to go with Buffalo. And I think that Miami may still be reeling at the shellacking that they took last week. You know, they handed out a lot of shellackers this year, but to get that this late in the season, and they're going to swoon themselves. They're kind of on a swoon. So give me Buffalo with this one because they have a lot more on the line. They have the difference maker. I don't necessarily know what the condition of Tyreek Hill is. I know he was banged up last week as well. Miami's kind of stumbling, bumbling into the playoffs right now. Give me Buffalo in this one. In a close game,
Man, I'm not
27
sure.
24.
Man, look here, man. You ain't gotta argue me down either way, man. It could be a tie for all for all I know it's gonna be. But as you know, man, I picked the Miami Dolphins to win the AFC East and to be my
You did.
representative of the AFC
And, and,
conference.
and
So this,
ironically, and ironically, I picked the Bills to win the AFC.
so like I said, it's damn hard for me to pick against the way the Buffalo Bills are playing right now. And it's even harder for me to fathom when Josh Allen has been playing a more game manager role, and I know that he can pull the cape off and do some things to win a ball game for Buffalo. It's hard for me to pick against it, but I'm going to pick against it today, man. I'm going with my pick of Miami. I know they're banged up. I know some things haven't been going right for them recently in recent weeks. I know that. But today, I
Right.
think being
Right.
home and having some home cooking and laying in your home bed, even though, and shout out, and I want to send
That's
out,
the
I don't
medicine
know
they
who it
need.
was. Right, I think they got the nursing they need. But also, man, did you see Tyreek Hill's house caught on fire a couple of days ago? Did you see that?
Yeah. A lot of
This
things
some real
going on. A
shit,
lot of distractions. A lot of things going on.
So usually
How
those
much is
type
he
of things,
into
and
the game right now?
that's what I'm saying. Now, usually I always say those type of things work against you. But I think
Hmm.
this is a team that has had these type of things working against them for a couple weeks now, and I think it's time for it to work for them now. I think Tyreek Hill has been playing in under adverse circumstances for a few weeks now. I think that my Miami Dolphins have, as a team as a whole, have been playing under adverse situation for a couple weeks now. But I think today, being
Okay.
home and having some home cooking, I think today to keep pick integrity, and we're gonna see, and
Hmm.
we'll see who's the victor in this because it's mano y mano in this pick, and I'm going with Miami Dolphins. But you know what? You can give me the same damn score of 27-24, but I'm going with the home team in Miami.
You going the other way. I want it one
Yeah.
way, but you trying to tell me it's the other way.
Yo, you know what's crazy about this though? If Buffalo loses this game, they not only lose the AFC, the AFC division crown, but they are not in the playoffs.
They're not in. You got to win. That particular that incentive alone is what is leading me to believe that they're going to lay it all out on the line today. That and the fact that Miami's just a bit banged up. Those two factors alone tell me what I need to know. That's all I need to know. Moving on, where are we going next with this thing here? Because it's a plethora of games that do have. Let's move on to another game with some playoff implications here, and it's a big game. It may not look like it on paper, but it's a huge game. Philadelphia travels to Jersey today to play the New York Football Giants. To the naked eye, it doesn't look like a game. How did we get to the point here where this game could come down to the division, not for the Giants, but for the Eagles in a quote unquote must win situation?
The Eagles have fumbled many chances recently to really sew up and solidify the division or even a more solid playoff position. They can look at no one but themselves because they've been shooting themselves in the foot. They have been playing less than stellar football on both sides of the ball. Some people will say there's some internal strife afoot in Philadelphia. If you're listening
I
to
don't
the
want to say it.
headlines,
I'm going. Yeah, with things that's coming out of there, that's what it is. We ain't gotta. We don't gotta speculate. It's some things going on there. There's some cracks.
yeah, yeah. So usually Philadelphia is the team that overcomes and pushes through those type of situations. It seems like this situation is a little bit different. From the beginning of the season, I just felt differently about the Eagles. Of course, like each year is different, but I felt differently about this year's Eagles than I did about last year's Eagles. I didn't have as much faith and belief as in them this year as I did last year. It was just things, just certain things, certain chinks in your armor show. And this year it just showed that certain things, when they got rough, they didn't choose to look at themselves. They chose to lash out. Yeah, we're not. I can understand the part about we're not playing good. I get that part, and you're still winning. But when you're not playing good and you start losing, well, that was the same way you was playing when you was winning. Now you want to lash out at the guy. These guys have been playing the same ball all season. You just was winning, but now you're seeing some holes and some warts and some chinks in the armor, and now you
Right.
want to shoot at this guy and shoot at this guy and shoot at this guy. Like, whoa, he's been playing subpar, mediocre all season, but now that we're losing, now it's a problem. Nah, this is not the time for. And that's the way I look at it. It's like, well, hold on, I sucked all damn season. I didn't just start sucking 3 weeks ago when we had this losing streak. I sucked all damn season.
Let me add something.
And I.
Let me add something here. Let me add something here. I think it was poignant. I knew there was an issue when your starting quarterback, who is typically unflappable, says maybe we're not all committed here. Wow.
Ooh, ooh.
Wow.
A man of very few words.
Wow.
Very few words besides
And
when he
that's
was
why
on
what he
top
says,
that gym.
that's why I'm saying he said rings and speaks volumes, because if the leader of your team is saying we're not committed, you can say a lot of volumes. I'll leave it at that. Let back to the game itself. What have I been saying for the past few weeks coming down the stretch? How the NFL has designed these late season games. You've got the pesky division rival with nothing to lose playing spoiler. Wouldn't the Giants just love to go out on a high note and spoil the Eagles' chances of winning the division? As a division opponent, nothing better than doing that. Can the
Mm-hmm.
Giants pull it off? They looked impressive last week in a loss, but there's a little more spice going into this game. You
Mm-hmm.
got them the road to see us. They coming with purpose. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and say this though. I'm gonna say that same urgency that I gave the Buffalo Bills, I'm gonna give that same urgency to the Eagles. Give me the Eagles in this game, although I want to pick the Giants. Give me the Eagles with that sense of urgency. They go in and they smack the Giants around a little bit by 2 touchdowns, man. I think it's a two-tutty game.
Well,
Eagles get it there today. Whether they could win the division with the performance, I don't know, because it's not in their hands anymore. But I think they smacked the Giants around with a win by at least 2 tutties. And I'm gonna go to the tune of I'm gonna go. Actually, I think it's. I think no. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna give them a tutty win. I'm gonna go 20. I'm gonna go 27 to 20. Tyrod Taylor. And anything I know about this team, it's a different team with Tyrod Taylor at the helm. They're a little bit more explosive with Tyrod Taylor because he provides them with passing plays, and he does provide them explosive plays with his legs. So the Eagles got some problems on their hands. The receivers are not of extremely top grade quality on the Giants to give this battered and bruised and much maligned work. But I think they give them some problems because it's reeling. Give me the Eagles 27-20. They get it done today.
I'm not sure what my man Lee Corso like to say. Not so fast, my friend.
Oh
I'm
my.
concerned.
Not so fast?
I'm concerned about what I'm seeing from the Eagles. I'm concerned. I'm concerned about leadership. Not saying I'm concerned about the leaders, but I'm concerned about how how some of the leaders are leading. I'm concerned
Okay.
about Jalen Hurts' remark, as you said,
I like how
some
you
people
phrased that,
are,
though. I like how you phrased it. Not the leaders, but how they're leading. That because that's totally different. That's the main thing.
yeah, yeah,
It's
I
not the
love it.
leaders per se, but how
Yeah,
they're leading.
I
That's
don't,
big.
I don't like you dropping that gem on. I don't think we're committed. Even if you said it in the locker room, for you to take that to the podium in the public, that speaks even louder. You feel what I'm saying? When you have when you have your coach not necessarily pointing the finger at himself enough and maybe delegating some of the unsuccessful things that have happened to other people, that's not a way I want my leader to lead. A lot of those things seep into how your team views you, how your team responds to that, and then how your team takes that on the field and plays. If your team felt last year that your bravado, overconfidence, just chest out, mano y mano, was a plus last year, why switch from that this year? Which he hasn't. But it seems like you're going a little bit further this way. I'm sticking my chest out even further. I'm being even more defiant in loss instead of self-retrospective in loss. Like, let's take a look at our team who
Mm-hmm.
has not had the
Mm-hmm.
same pass rush from last year. Let's take a look at our team that has not had the same ball efficiency from our quarterback as last year.
Mm-hmm.
No, those type of
Mm-hmm.
things, you seem like you delegated those things to other people. And I'm like, oh no, oh no. That's not the way I want my
I have another
leader to
thing. I have
lead.
another thing. I have another thing too.
Please, please.
I have another thing. There was a report from AJ Brown during certain stretches. I mean, during a certain stretch, the players deviated from something that the coach. So the coach fell on the sword to protect the players. Admirable, yes. Hmm. So if that's true, is that a problem that the players are questioning the call? Listen, we're gonna do it our way. Or if that's false, right? That AJ Brown is saying, oh, he fell on us, for a play that we broke. Okay, let's say AJ's lying and he's sticking up for his coach. You got a clear issue there, though. That's an issue because both, not no matter which scenario you look at it, there's someone to blame. Is it a terrible call, or did the players break rank because they didn't believe in the call? And you're covering up for them, or are you covering up for them? I don't know. That screams problem to me. I digress. Give me your score, bro. Give me your score.
Being a former Eagles fan that I've been, I've had a long and storied and confusing relationship with these guys, man. But these type of games I have seen so many times with the Eagles. So many times when you expect it to go one way and it just totally goes the other. This is totally a game that Tyrod Taylor is supposed to show up. Eagles are playing for something. Oh, nope. Dot here, dot there. I'll run around just enough. I'll throw the ball to Darren Waller just enough for him to catch the ball before he gets injured. And the Eagles lose a game that they're not supposed to lose.
Say
Stumble
just
into the play
just enough before you.
just enough before he gets injured. That was actually how the last game was going that they played 2 weeks ago. That was how the last game was going. There will
Right.
be guys who you have not heard of all season long that will make significant contributions to the New York Giants today. The kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, toilets, and all outdoor water receptacles will be thrown at the Eagles today to win a football game.
Right.
I've seen it so many times in my lifetime. And I've seen the Eagles lose these games. I've seen it. I'm like,
So who you got?
wow.
Who you got? Who you got?
So with that being said, I think the New York Giants today will not have enough to beat the Eagles today. Now it's going to be just as close as a couple weeks ago, if not closer, because I do not think the Eagles have righted the ship and quelled the ills that.
Man, you set the Giants up for the biggest swerve, man. I thought you was going one way, man, and you swerved that.
we,
Man,
we are good at this thing that we do, man. But I do not see them making enough plays to beat out a team like you say, that with their back against the wall, like the Buffalo Bills. Now, I actually think that the Eagles today will right the ship enough to pull out a victory, but I still think that the stink that's in their locker room doesn't leave. You know what I'm saying? They've been playing bad for whatever reason.
there's a stench there.
There's a stench there, and playing bad for whatever reason, that's fine. If you can't scheme better, you damn sure can't get better players by this time of the season. So it is what it is.
Yeah, you dealing with the cards you dealt.
Yeah, and this is the wrong time to be pointing fingers, questioning things, and to not be playing your best ball. But I think today, just the talent overall will get them enough. The talent and the urgency that they have as the Eagles kind of just, it would be a little bit more
Cool.
than the Giants
Okay.
can handle today.
Okay. And moving on to another game that has playoff implications, a game that means something. Well, actually, it means something for both teams. Just one team's looking at it from one end of the spectrum, another team's looking at it from the other end. The Dallas Cowboys, with the division on the line, travel to Washington to play the Commanders. The line is Dallas opens a -13, and the line is 46.5. Now, this is an interesting game. This is an interesting game here. This is set up perfectly for. I think what we both did was we both picked anybody but the Eagles, and this game could very well shake up to have that premonition come true because the NFC East has not had a repeat division winner in I think it's since 2000 something, since that Eagles run with Donovan McNabb and the boys. So this is a game that could keep that streak alive and also keep your prognosis true. And the division winner and possibly a much, much higher seed in your Dallas Cowboys. I think this game is odd because it has none of the historical importance that it typically would carry. It is different for two reasons, and that is the trajectory that both teams are on. One is on a trajectory to hell, and one is on a trajectory to the playoffs. Now, how short-lived that hell trajectory or that stay in hell is going to be, it's going to depend. And today has a lot to do with that because on the line, Washington can secure the number 2 pick in the draft again, folks. We got a chance to do this over again.
And right on time, the good brother Markel Williams.
Listen,
that's what's on the line today.
Listen, Eagles fans, I'm sorry. There will be, listen, we ain't looking to make this a game. There's bigger things at stake here than just simply beating the Cowboys, which I don't mind doing, but listen, we could win this game and for frivolous, ridiculously unneeded chest thumping and posturing. But for what, folks? Let's not stand on ceremony here. There's nothing to gain in a win here. Nothing to gain in a win here. And quite frankly, we can't pull off the win here, folks. It's best we do what we've been doing this year, and we play tough for a few quarters, and then the roof caves in. folks. We got a chance to do this number 2 pick again. We got new management already in tow. We got new ownership. Monday can't come here soon enough. We will have Black Monday. We will clean house with the staff. Don't know who survives. We'll have the number 2 pick at the end of the day, which bodes plentiful options for a rebuilding team, folks. Dallas Cowboys go in here. They don't make it ugly, I don't think. I think they get out of here with a win. I hope they get out of here with a win. Dallas, we're literally, here you go. We're handing this to you. There you go, buddy. There you go, man. We got other things to worry about here. I think Dallas goes in here and they come out with a victory to the tune of 24-13. 24-13.
That's admirable. That's admirable. I mean, everybody knows that I picked Dallas Cowboys to win the NFC East. I like my pick today. Well, I still think my pick today is secure. But let me go another way with this thing here. Let me. Can I interest
Now, mind you, before you go, this goes totally against my pesky division rival playing spoiler theory. I've used that very heavily over the last 2 weeks, and then today I've totally abandoned that.
Well, if we're going to get, you know what?
I've totally abandoned that theory and rationale.
If we're going to get shit today, fuck it. Let me go and get something today. And we got a good brother who's kind of hit on something that where I was going today, man. Usually these games, but first of all, like I said, my NFC Eastern Divisional pick and my Super Bowl NFC pick is the Dallas Cowboys. So them winning today bodes well for my sports prognostication.
Let's get excited. Absolutely. Absolutely, Markel.
But walk with me for a second here.
I'm walking. I got my walking shoes on. I'm walking.
You're a Washington Commanders fan, am I right? That's
absolutely.
Question.
Every week. Well, most weeks.
As seen with
most weeks.
Your finally regaled outfits. You are a Washington Commanders fan, and you know about your head coach, and his name is Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera has been in this football game a long time, and they say he's one of the nicest men out here in this game. And they say he is a man that is to be respected, if not anything. Now, Ron Rivera,
good guy,
an outstanding guy from all accounts that out here. Now, from what I've heard about Ron Rivera is there has always been an element or a component to Ron Rivera to where when everybody's going to zig, he zags. Hence, the name Riverboat Ron. So I'm not going to say that Black Monday ain't coming. I'm not going to say that my man Riverboat Ron will not have a job at this same time tomorrow.
I know where you going with this. I know you, man.
But I am saying that Riverboat Ron is going to show up today and not lay down on his sword. I'm going to say that Riverboat Ron is going to pull out some stops today. Riverboat Ron.
He's going to try to fuck this up for us, huh?
If my key card don't work this same time tomorrow, guess what the hell you getting today? I think you're getting vintage Riverboat Ron today. I think Riverboat Ron would go as far as to sneak his good buddy, the now recently fired Jack Del Rio, back into the stadium to call a couple plays just for the sentiment and the sake of giving the new management and the old management a goodbye. And I think the Washington Commanders do not pull out an upset today. I think
I swerve when I drive. Swerve when I drive. You tried to swerve, but your brain didn't let you swerve it, man.
I think that in the end, No. I'm not saying he can save his job. No, I am definitely saying he will be on the couch with me
Yeah, that's not gonna
24
happen.
hours from now. He's not going to save his
Listen,
job.
I
But
think
but
I think if he tries to win this game, that may get him fired even more than anything else.
now this is the part this is the part I'm saying. I think that everybody in Washington Commander Nation is expecting an all-time blow up job, man. If it was ever a time for everybody to 1, 2, 3 Cancun, it's today. Everybody knows nobody's gonna be here next year. But I don't think Riverboat is gonna go out and say, "I don't play that good." I just don't think you guys are gonna
No,
play
no,
good
that's
enough
not what's
to
gonna
win.
happen. That's not what's gonna happen. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not what's gonna
I
happen.
think you.
I think
I
what you
think it's
have
going
here
to.
is you there's gonna be the effort is going to be there, but the talent is just simply not the same. The morale is down and things of that nature. It's not. We put it this way. I don't think we have the ability to pull off this upset. I've seen stranger
Right,
things happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting on here saying that they cannot win this game under no circumstances, in any way, shape, or form. It's the NFL any given Sunday. I just think, unfortunately, Dallas is coming in with something to play for. They have to win this game. Dallas has
yeah,
to win. Your playoff scenario drastically changes if you lose this game. You can't have
right,
that because not only that, and I'll tell you here. Let's look at this. The public perception of Dallas is that they play well in the regular season, get in the playoffs, and they choke. You don't even want that scuttlebutt to creep into your mind the week before the playoffs.
right.
You need to get it done right now so that you can kind of harbor some of that good karma going into the playoffs. Because these are now this is a narrative for this team in particular. These guys are the guys that they're talking about. They've now joined that lore of Dallas Cowboy teams that have failed. This is not a new regime. These are the same guys for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fighting against their own ghosts.
Right.
You have an opportunity to erase some of that today. Can they get it done? I think they get it done today. But I can't speak to anything further than that in terms of how they do in the playoffs. I just think that they get it done today. I think they get it done today, and I think Washington puts up a fight. But at the end, I think Dallas is just too talented at this point. Too much to play for. Too much of a different sort of motivation. Playing for pride and playing for your playoff, playing for the division is two things. You'll learn a lot about this Dallas team at the end of the day. Do they go out and lay the hammer down and make a statement, or do you just, and do you play and there's no spirit? You'll be able to tell a lot about this Dallas team. Just my opinion, and we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Let's run through the rest of these games real quick. Real quick. The rest of these games here. Minnesota, Detroit. Who you got, bro? Real quick.
Detroit.
I'm gonna go
Detroit.
Detroit too.
Yeah.
This is a weird one because these games, because Detroit's already got it wrapped up. They're
Yeah.
probably gonna rest some guys. They may pull some guys after like the first quarter. So this games like this could get weird. But I'm gonna go with Detroit. Uh,
Okay.
New York, New England. Do we care? But New York
This is a battle of two
Jets,
trash
Patriots.
heaps. That's what I said. This is a battle of two trash heaps. Shake them up. Shake. Who's at
This is a
home? Who's at
draft
home?
position game.
Who's at home?
New England's at home. New
Who's
England's
New
at
England?
home. I'm
Who's New
going New
England?
England. I'm going New England.
I
I'm
will
gonna go
say
New
this.
England. I think New
Let
England
me ask you.
beats.
I don't even care what the score is, but let me ask you this: do you think this is the last game for the hoodie in New England?
I do. I think it is, and I've alluded to this a year ago when I felt like Kraft should have had this conversation with the hoodie, um, in terms of saying, "Hey, look, we did it your way. It didn't work, and not only did it not work, the guy that I favored you over won a Super Bowl on his way out the door." So that's just my take on it. I got the Patriots, and I think in this particular game, I think this is the hoodie swan song. He'll definitely end up somewhere. He's too big of a name and has got too much good cash in the NFL to, as far as coaching, to not land on his feet somewhere. He'll get a great job somewhere.
Yeah, I got the hoodie in them. I don't even know what the score would be. That's one of them ugly 1 o'clock games that you can run out to the store and get all your shit for the
Absolutely.
4 o'clock games. Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be ugly, terrible. Yeah,
Who you
give
got
me
in the
those.
Falcons game? Falcons Saints game. Falcons traveling. Falcons traveling to New Orleans. Falcons traveling to New Orleans. Who you got?
It feel like I picked this game last week, man. Both these teams have I don't know. I haven't had my thumb on these guys all season. I don't know what you said. Falcons to New Orleans
Falcons
with these two
traveling to New
guys.
Orleans.
Right, with these two guys, both of these teams last week I went against my gut. I don't know how I can go against my gut with both these teams. I went against my gut last week. I don't know how that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Give me the Falcons. Saints.
I'm gonna go Saints. I'm
Give
gonna go
me,
Saints.
give, I don't know, cause I also seen some people not gonna be playing, and like I said, even though this
Right,
might
it's one of them
have
games, man. Where
it's some games,
I'm
you
gonna
know
go
what I'm saying, where
Saints.
it's gonna be some players not playing and stuff like that. I've lost favor with Derek Carr. I've never had any favor with Desmond Ritter.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Saints, man. I don't.
Okay.
Give me the Saints.
Moving on. No, you said it. You said it. Buccaneers, Panthers. Buccaneers travel to Carolina. Buccaneers traveling to
Buccaneers.
Carolina.
That's
Give me the
easy, man.
Bucks as well.
Buccaneers. Give me the
Chicago
Bucks as
traveling to
well.
Green Bay. That's an interesting game. This I'm actively watch this game. Bears, Green Bay. Bears traveling to Green Bay. Who you got?
Give me Green Bay. Oh, well, they.
I will stay chalk, but I have a competing interest here. This is why. I have a competing interest that I want to see Justin Fields excel. I want to see him have a monster game because it's for me in terms of players and position and things of that nature. So I actually do want the Bears to win because it has different meaning for me. But I can't. I'm gonna go with Justin Love. I've been singing Justin Love's praises for a while, except when they took that dip and I kind of fell off a little bit. But I was behind them early in the season, and I think he turned out to be the guy that I said he was. Denver against the Raiders. Denver traveling to Las Vegas. I'm gonna go Raiders. Give me the Raiders in this one. They in the season with some good cash hit. Raider Nation, you'll be proud of them by the end of the day.
Give
Raiders
me
take this in a
Denver.
big one.
Give me Denver.
Denver.
Give me
All right.
Denver. I was banging on them hard early in the season, man.
Seattle.
I'm not the biggest fan of Sean. I mean, still ain't the biggest fan of Sean Payton, and he was actually in the
But he
running
showed you something.
for. Yeah, he got off the mat. He got off the mat, man. 70 to 20.
Oh, he got off the mat swinging.
He
Absolutely.
got off the mat. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think he could get off the mat, but I was like, when he coined the phrase that may have been the worst NFL coaching job in NFL history, I was like, man, that phrase didn't age well when he made it
Hey,
about
didn't
Matt
age at
Nagy.
all. You walk right into that.
Yeah, but he got off the mat, so I can't front. And
Give him
they were
credit. Yeah, give
in,
him credit.
they were in playoff contention, so I'm going with them today. Give me Denver.
Get it. Seattle traveling to Arizona. Seattle traveling to Arizona off of that Arizona at home off of a big win. Seattle in a must-win situation. I think Arizona takes this one. To be honest with you, man, I think oh, spoiler! Oh my God, this has spoiler written all over it. Let's keep these guys out of the playoffs. Yeah, this has spoiler written all over it.
I got this game being wild and willy. Oh man, because Arizona is the team, as you like I said, they're just not going to lay down. You don't know who these guys on their team are except Kyler Murray, but they went out and took that thing from the Eagles last seconds. I was like, I can see that happening totally. Those are the games I'll be talking about. I've seen those
Mm-hmm.
games happen to the Eagles. With that being said, I'm like, Seattle is playing for their lives here. This is not going to be easy. It's not going to be over in the first quarter. This is going to be wild and willy, and this is actually my pick for the game of the day. This is an interdivisional game. Kyler Murray and them guys, man. Kyler Murray and them wrestling dudes you don't know, they are going to run around all day long. All day long. And Kyler Murray's going to find guys all day long. Geno Smith, they're not going to lay down for you. They don't give a fuck about you being a real good comeback story. They don't care. It is going to be hard for you today.
Yeah.
It's going to be very hard for you today. But I'm picking Seattle today, man, in the wild and willy win. I'm picking Seattle today.
I'm going Arizona, man. I gotta go back to my mantra, man. Division rival, spoiler, nothing to play for. It could get wild. It could get dicey. It could get dicey in Arizona,
It's
and I
going to get
think
dicey. It's going to
yeah,
get dicey.
it could get dicey, and I think it is. I think it is gonna. Now Seattle clinches a playoff berth with a win plus a Green Bay loss. So I mean,
Hmm.
they still have playoff implications. So moving on, we've got Kansas City Chiefs playing the Chargers. Kansas City Chiefs traveling to SoFi to play the Chargers. Who you got?
Um, there's no Patty Mahomes today, from what I hear. So
Makes
shake them
sense.
up, shake them up, shake them up, shake them, because they got the division one, and I think they're pretty much locked into. I want to say the 3 seed, 2 or 3 seed, if I'm not. They're locked in.
They're
Um,
locked in. They have nothing to play for. Yeah, they have
yeah.
nothing.
So
This game means nothing. I'm just asking you to pick it because that's what we
uh,
do. This game has nothing.
I still like Big Red and Andy Reid and them to win the game over Brandon State. Excuse me, whoever that is over there at
Yeah, and a stinker. And he's on his way out the door, folks. And this is listen. Throw him out the front door. They're gonna throw him out the second story window. Give me the Chiefs as well. I'll take the Chiefs. I take the Chiefs.
yeah.
In a 4 o'clock tilt, we got the Rams traveling down the road to Santa Clara to play the Niners. Rams traveling to play the Niners. Division game. There are some things going on in this game. The Niners have locked up the number one seed. They're literally playing for absolutely nothing. However, let's see here. I think the
I
let's
want to
see
say
here.
the Rams
No,
are
I'm
in.
sorry.
I
No,
want to say
they
the
are
Rams are
not
in.
in. No, yeah, they are in.
They're
They
not
are
in.
in. The
The
Rams are
Rams
in.
are
This
in.
game means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Rule playoff seeding and good cash going into the playoffs. Who you got? This game means absolutely nothing.
From what I'm hearing, I want to say Brock Purdy may be the only notable that's playing today, and I'm sure he's not going to play very long. He probably play as long as the first team offensive line is out
One or two
there.
series.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I think they're going to treat this like a
Yeah, one or
preseason
two
game.
series, man.
McCaffrey he's inactive
A
from the
live
jump.
practice, yeah.
Yeah, so but
Hmm.
I see that there's no Cooper Cup. I see that there's no. I want to say there's no Matthew Stafford.
Both teams have mailed it in.
Yeah,
Both teams have
so
literally mailed it in, bro.
this is kind of come down to a shake 'em up because you don't know what's going. I don't even know who's playing. Who's at home?
San Francisco.
Give me San Francisco because they're at home.
We'll go chalk. We'll go with that one. And with that said, folks, that brings the closure to Week 18, the final week of the NFL season. There is still much to be played for. I'll have a few TVs locked in. Very exciting weeks. Still, even with their meaningless games, there are some meaningful games. So there's still a full plate. All the way up until the late game. Late game is
Yeah.
the coup de grace. And I think we couldn't ask for anything than a division on the line with two division rivals. This is it's beautiful how it played out that way. So with that being said, any closing thoughts before we get out of here and enjoy the rest of this Sunday?
The playoffs have been going on for a couple of weeks now. It's just today is going to
Absolutely, absolutely.
solidify or deny those into the real playoff season, which starts 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Absolutely, man. Mr. Fire and Ice pregame football experience. It is noontime. Get your dip, your chips, your food. Enjoy your Sunday. We didn't get the inclement weather that we expected in terms of the snow, so we're able to still be able to travel. If you're going to the bar to watch the game, drive safely. If you're going to the homie's crib, man, have fun. So we didn't get that weather, so you could do some things today to the house. On behalf of Coach, greatest in the world, Freshco, we out of here. Take us out of here, bro.